This is the disassembly procedure for the SWP-4000. You're going to require, you're going to need 3 Allen or hex wrenches in these sizes, 5/64, 5/32 of an inch, and 3/16 of an inch in order to remove all of the bolts and screws. Well, we'll start by removing the bolts from the can. The three bolts secure the can onto the pump. We proceed now to, ideally with a vice grip, we are going to utilize the safety cable loop to secure onto a vice grip in such a way. The can is going to have some vacuum, so as you turn in the motion seen here, side to side, as you pull the can out. If the pump has been installed in a well for a while, that might be a little more difficult to do, of course, because the vacuum and sediment has stuck it together. But once the can is off, we remove back. Okay, so now we're going to remove the lid of the pump. We've removed the 7 screws that hold the lid to the top of the pump. Now we're removing the outlet nipple. As such, it just pulls out by hand. Next, we're going to remove the 2 wires, black and red. You pull out. What you will find is the O-ring socket here which secures the cables into the housing. Once that is removed, we can proceed. We will need the 5/64 of an inch tool to remove the wires from the interconnector. Call it the brass interconnector. You can see just removing the Allen has released the 2 leads from the main pump body. We can now remove the pump screen, the suction screen, or stainless steel mesh. Okay, we proceed to utilize one of the screws. We use one of the screws that were pulled off of the lid itself can be used. We might need a small pair of pliers. You can see here we've now exposed the top of the pump head there are 3 grommet pieces that need to be removed. These have a double O-ring, and these O-rings are lubricated. So ideally, with a pair of pliers, we can pull them out. As you see, again, we can use the screws from the lid to insert lightly into this grommet piece, and that in itself can be used to pull them out. They're plugs. Once we've pulled those out, now the wires will thread out of the pump head. We now use the 5/32 Allen wrench to pull the internal screws from the pump head. These main screws hold the motor onto the pump head. These are hand tightened when placed into the pump, and can be hand removed with a wrench, such as this one with a handle. Once those have been released, the motor and the pump head separate. So the bolts that we're pulling out. Alright, so these bolts are securely in there. You need to pull them out. We're going to have our 3 bolts here. We're going to proceed with the valve housing assembly, and this is the one of the internal components. The valve housing sits in the pump housing as so. It's a triangular shaped. You have your outlet valves and your inlet valves. This can be removed simply by wiggling it out. Now we have exposed the diaphragm of the pump itself, and this section called the lower housing assembly. The lower housing assembly pulls out because the shaft of the motor, which is keyed, is what fits in there, and as such we have disassembled the pump completely. This concludes the disassembly process. We can remove the end cap of the motor to expose the brushes, and that can be done on a separate video.